It is
This is not a Cade sleep approved movie. I did stay awake the whole time.
you did. Yeah.
No.
I caught your attention on that. You didn't nap. We've had some good naps watching movies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
This was not one of them.
No.
Hi, I'm Cade,
And I'm Kit,
and we're real people.
doing real reviews.
This is
Mm-hmm.
the
Our-
final 2 episodes
Mhm.
before our recaps of the full season
Mm-hmm.
of season 3, Stories That Stick,
Yep.
our favorite movies.
Our favorite movies, which we were
All-time
so
favorites.
all time. Which we were so excited to have this because we were like, oh, we're so close. We have, we are doing this business together. We're doing Cade and Kit together. We're at so much that we travel together. We were like, oh my gosh, we get to share our favorite movies with each other.
All-time favorite movies of life.
Uh,
And this is basically what season 3 is wrapped around.
yes.
These 2 episodes.
Oh no. Turns out we have some different perspectives.
Mhm.
And we have learned a lot on this journey. We'll save it for the recap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you choose for us
It's
today?
Kit's pick today.
Pick.
So my all-time favorite movie is The Life of Pi, and it is the story of it's set in
Well,
Canada. What?
why did you choose it? Let's start there.
Oh,
Let's not recap what
the
happened
whole
in the
thing?
movie.
Not yet.
Yeah. Why is this your favorite movie?
This is cinematically, it's absolutely stunning. It is a movie that's wrapped around a story of kind of overcoming in unbelievable scenarios set in Canada. It's isolation and it's a spiritual journey on what connects best for an authentic storyline for the main character. And that's why I chose it. And it's also why I love it. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that this movie took 3 years in post-production because of the coloring and CGI? 3 years after the movie was filmed
Yes.
in post-production.
Yeah,
Wild.
and they used one of the largest natural water sound stages to
Yeah.
do the filming over, quite a while as well. Yes, well, CGI has come a long way since this movie first came out. As much as people are like bucking AI and things like that, I'm like, you can AI on your CGI to get your
Yeah.
coloring there. So would have carved down a year, maybe. Like
Absolutely.
it won a considerable amount of awards, and yeah, it's stunning. It's a movie that I saw multiple times in the theater, and
Yeah, I don't.
have the same connection to this film as I do, but
No.
you don't watch Cade and Kit because we're the same, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, should we talk about in short,
In short.
a boy
Yeah,
is
let's
stuck in the ocean?
yeah. Let's recap the movie. I mean, I agree with you. It's very pretty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's tell the story.
It I mean, it is 3 years pretty, like, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So it starts out with a writer showing up at a gentleman's house. And he said, I have met your uncle, and he told me that you have an unbelievable story and that I'm a failed writer. I was writing a book and I ran out of creative juices, and he thought that your story could potentially help me. And so he is in Canada, and he's like, okay, like I will tell you my story, but you may or may not believe it. Like we'll see what your interpretation is at the end. And it starts out by kind of sharing where his name came from and how he got the nickname of Pi, which he had kind of created because his full name was Piscine, which was it was a French swimming pool, and
Yeah.
his uncle loved it, said it was the most beautiful water he'd ever swam in, and it was this French swimming pool, and so it stuck for whatever reason with his family, and they gave him this name, except that he was teased for it on the schoolyard, so he was like, "I'm gonna shorten it to Pi," so he got really good at writing out Pi, and it became like
His thing.
his thing, and he was talking about how his father and mother owned a zoo, and the writer was really surprised. He's like, "Oh, I thought they would be mathematicians or something with your name," and he was like, "No, no." And he talks about how the zoo kind of got built on this, like, leased land around, this place where they lived and, ran it, and they had zookeepers and people kinda come along, and he also, yeah, like, went to school and had a sibling, and so his growing up is learning a lot of lessons through the lessons of the animals and being around the animals and also kind of learning from carnivores and, which ones are dangerous, which ones aren't. And he is going through a journey of like recognizing that the animals have souls. He has a soul. And he's constantly in this search for different aspects of faith that make sense to him. So he understands some of like a Hindi belief, he understands some of a Muslim belief, he understands some of a Christian belief, and he's impacted by different leaders in these different areas, and he wants to keep all of them. So as he's sitting at like his kitchen table, he is kind of moving towards these three faiths and the lessons that he's learning from the animals. And his dad's like, "You got to choose. You got to pick one of these routes. Like this is not what are you doing? Like, you're a mess." And the mom's like, "He's figuring it out." And he's a young man. He's kind of discovering what this all means to him. And then he is in school and he has his first feelings of love and falls in love with a girl. As all this is happening, they realize that like they have to sell the zoo and they're going to move to Canada and they're going to board all of these animals onto a ship and get to Canada. Do you want to add to the plot from there?
No, you're doing a
That's
great job.
Jerry.
She's watched it several times.
I love this movie. So the family is loaded up, and the dad has never been a zookeeper, so he is like doing his best to care for the animals on this, basically like a freight ship, and the ship is it's rough. It's filled with like pretty hardcore industrial sailors, and they don't eat meat. And so there's a Buddhist that's on the boat who's like, you can do a little gravy on the rice, like it's just a little flavor just when you're sailing. And he's like, I get it. I don't eat animals either. And they're like in this kind of rougher scenario, which they had been in this quite beautiful, lovely like family like
Mhm.
compound, and then also were treated very well where they were. So to be in this like aspect where the people are being kind of unkind was eh,
I also took
but
it as, like, a moment of, like, saving money kinda thing, like,
mhm.
they or, like, trying to transport the animals where
They could sell them, so then
they
they have
have
some money for it.
yeah,
Mhm.
for their, like, new life, so they took, like, a cheaper option kinda thing where
Yeah.
they not necessarily the best kinda scenario.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Kinda this moment.
The lease was over, the city was growing.
Yeah,
For them to continue to make it, they were gonna sell the animals to a Canadian zoo
yeah.
and travel with them. And so there's this kind of lovely scene where, this rough scenario had happened. You see the dad very much stand up for his wife, children. They make a new friend. They're taking care of the animals, giving them like kind of gravel and sleeping pills to get them through. And Pi is kind of watching his dad in this different role for this better life for his family and kind of sacrificing himself. Like, he's learning these animals to get them there. And they're in their they it's just kind of a nice scene because he obviously has this wonderful tie with the mom, but he's showing some respect for the dad. Then it starts to rain while they're on the boat and there's a storm. He wakes up to the rain and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like it's wild and this is like the god of thunder and I'm gonna go out in the rain and I'm gonna just feel all of my body in this rain and I'm heartbroken because I'm leaving this girl back and I'm going to this new place and I don't know how I feel about it and I'm
Yeah.
feeling all these things." So he goes out into the rain and he's just like shouting at the rain. He's like, "Rain harder." And the boat is not doing well. And it takes on water, and he realizes that he's very much in danger, and so there are a handful of lifeboats. He's trying to get to his family, he can't get to his family, the animals are somehow out of their cages and kind of floating up through the boat, it's incredibly dangerous, and he is, kinda swept onto a lifeboat because of how severe the storm is and how high the waves are, and he's on the lifeboat and with no other people, and he sees some different he's, like, calling to people because he's like, "I'm on this boat," and, he ends up just with a handful of animals on the boat,
Yeah.
no people.
I would say, like, that scene definitely stands out for me in that moment of, like, the rocking back and forth and the rain and, like,
Mhm.
very cool scene, very believable actually in that moment.
Yeah.
kind of what it takes
Mhm.
to make a set like that stood out for me for sure.
And then watching the boat sink and knowing that your family
Yeah.
was on that, it is very, very heartbreaking. And he is on this boat. And so the way that the story continues with this movie is that they'll cut back to the writer and Pi talking to each other, over
Mhm.
lunch in their home. And he starts talking with the different animals that are on the ship with him. And it is terrifying because there's their tiger, which he has been very much told to fear and why to fear it, and it's given multiple examples. And it is some boyhood life lessons have happened with that, like
Right.
tiger. There's a hyena, there's an orangutan, and there's a zebra who got injured in the fall and has a broken leg. And so we see how these animals are doing on this like boat, which they're kind of seasick. They're half still on their like medication from being put to sleep, and they're coming out of it. And so the hyena hurts the zebra, eats the zebra. Then the orangutan tries to stand up to the hyena. She's also attacked. It's awful. Eventually, the pie gets the hyena off the ship. It's gone. And then the tiger is still there.
Well, no, the tiger
Oh, the
it
tiger took the
the
hyena.
hyena.
Right.
I was watching.
Hmm. And so it is
This is not a Cade sleep approved movie. I did stay awake the whole time.
you did, yeah.
No.
I caught your attention on that. You didn't nap. We've had some good naps watching movies.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
this was not one of them.
No. And so he is trying to find a way, and he's in this place where he can swim a little, and he's like hanging off this like point on the rowboat. He's alone in the ocean. He is very much shown how alone he is. We don't see boats crossing. We don't see planes. We don't see any type of sailing. They are in the middle of the ocean on a journey from India to Canada. And he has a tiger in the boat. So he's like hanging on this stick, and he starts kind of just grabbing out some of the life jackets and building like a little life raft that's a little bit separate from the boat so that he can stay attached to the boat to stay safe, but also not have to deal with the tiger who is, you know, on the boat eating, yeah, kind of what's left over from these animals and the hyena and it's very dangerous. And he's having moments, of course, of grieving. He's apologizing to the sky for asking it to rain harder, and now he doesn't have his family. And now these animals that were just on the boat right after, he's grieving that as well because he had
Yeah.
boyhood memories with them. Mhm. Yeah, and then
Yeah, like, so and basically,
mhm.
because obviously he's at sea, so he's at sea for quite a long time, and he's keeping count, writing, keeping himself busy because he has, like, this book, so he's doing that. He's talking to the tiger, he ends up training the tiger,
Yeah.
they, like, somehow make it through,
Mhm.
and then they get back, obviously, I'm shortening it
Mhm.
significantly amount
Mhm.
through the last part of the movie.
Yep.
But, he gets back and the insurance people from the ship that sank come to him
Mhm.
and they're like, "What happened?"
Mhm.
And he tells them the story that we just watched,
Mhm.
and they don't believe him.
Mhm.
And they're like, "No, what really happened?"
Mhm.
And then he tells the same story, but he inserts people into each of those roles,
Mhm.
which then leaves it up to the audience, us,
Mhm.
to then interpret, well, was it actually the people
Mhm.
the whole time? And he was just telling the story the way he wanted to tell it with the animals? Or was it in fact the animals?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The writer decides as he's, like, listening to it that because he this insurance story is told to the writer is that he likes the story better with the animals.
Yeah.
And, there's a scene in between where they find, like, a little island, a little bit of reprieve, but the island itself is carnivorous, so it's eating anything that's living that's on it. Um, and the tiger knows that. And it kinda talks a little bit about, like, the bond of, like, him with this animal that breaks his heart because they, of course, they get saved and they're separated, and Tiger goes to be wild, and Pi goes on to live his very happy life with his wife and children, in Canada.
Mhm.
And he is, sharing the story with this writer to create something of this amazing thing that happened to him where he was lost at sea. And what I loved about the story is what you said. Like, I love anything that's kind of open for you to tie yourself to in a way that makes sense, which is the entire theme of the story. It goes to the faith, to when you are alone and in isolation, how dangerous are the things around you? How resourceful are you? Are you keeping your spirits? What are you praying to? What are you believing about your life, yourself, what matters, priorities? So much has changed when you are in a survival scenario. And I love the journey that he goes on with that. And I think that they did an incredible job cinematically making you feel each of those decisions and what he's trying to do to make it through, like, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Because there is a scene where he realizes that, like, they're very close to dying. Like, they've been going a really long time without food and water, and different storms that kind of washed away some of the provisions from the boat, and him and the tiger are in this place until they crash up onto a beach and are found and drug apart. And he is, like, feeling that, like, the relief and the reprieve from being rescued, and also, like, the heartbreak of that it's all over and now he'll be, like, back into society.
Well,
And
yeah, for me at least, I feel like at
mhm,
least what I got from the movie
mhm,
is the kind of like closing and beginning of new chapters
mhm,
in his life, and yet how even though something ended, it's still with him and it's part of that kind of story
mhm,
with it. So like I definitely can see you and why you like this movie as well as with season 3.
mhm.
Like definitely this is a Kit movie for sure. Um 10 out of 10 Kit movie.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm,
But I definitely think like, you see Richard Parker, which is the tiger,
mhm,
disappear.
mhm,
And you definitely feel like it's like a closing of kind of that point and that time and that chapter in his life.
mhm,
And then it moved on to like the next thing, like a new story and kind of that beginning.
mhm,
And yeah, definitely a very fascinating kind of introspective learning about yourself, your own beliefs, thought process. You
mhm,
know, is your mind capable of telling you something else that may not be true, but protect you in a way
mhm,
through that? Because, I think maybe actually the story is the other way,
mhm,
but it's more palatable, certainly a lot more palatable in the way of
mhm.
telling it this way with animals
Yeah.
than if it was people that replaced it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. What'd you rate it?
I give it a 9.5. Yeah. I think it's an incredible story. I think that the acting is good. I think all of it is good. I think cinematically it's fabulous. I feel like when you are critiquing a movie, that a lot of what you feel after you watch a movie is how you make a decision on if you recommend that movie to somebody else. For me, to choose a movie to be my favorite movie, I left that movie theater thinking about things spiritually that mattered to me in this movie. And the reason why I would rewatch it was to see if I had different takes on this young man's journey through, like, his survival into his, like, day-to-day life and what he prioritized and what he created out of his life from it. And so is, damn near perfect, for me.
Yeah. Did
Mhm.
you know that that the actor, this was his debut?
Yes, I
Like his
did know that.
first
Yeah.
acting job?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did really well.
He did so well.
Yeah.
He
I
probably
mean, most of the movie's just him by himself. I mean, obviously,
came on a boat.
him on the boat, and then they CGI'd the tiger into it.
Mhm.
So, um, Yeah, very cool from that
Yeah,
standpoint.
definitely not an easy movie to act in outside of, like, maybe, like, the schoolyard and, like, the loving
Yeah,
house maybe, yeah, or, like, the family dynamic because they ate traditional Indian food, right? And so, yeah, really
yeah.
pretty great acting, yeah.
Also, can we just go back? You
Mhm.
tell me again how you recommend movies to other people?
How you feel about them after.
Oh, okay. You
Like,
never recommend movies to people based on what you know about that person and interpret it, but they like it?
well, that's because you know how you feel about it and then how they would feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You recommend them that way or no? I think you just tell me if you like the movie or not.
I'm like, "I like this movie." And then you're like, "I didn't." And I'm like, "Well,
I didn't like this movie,
he did not."
but I rated it a 5.
Yeah.
It's a 5
Mhm.
because it is a pretty movie. There's so many good things about it, but would I necessarily pay to watch it again like you did? How many times? 4 or 5
4 or 5 times in the theater, yeah.
in the theater?
Mhm.
No, not at all. Hard pass. I will maybe take a nap the next
Mhm.
time or turn off the TV and go do something else.
Yeah, I think
It's
the
too
length of him being at sea
yeah,
it lost you.
it lost me.
Mm.
Well, one, as you may know, movies that Kit picks are a lot longer. They're just longer.
There's they're by, like, an hour.
Well,
They're not
yeah,
huge longer. They're,
yeah,
like
way longer.
could
This
have been a full Hallmark on the end, like yeah.
we could have summed this movie up a lot sooner.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have felt the things, I don't think.
Maybe.
I think you need the
Yeah.
room. Well, I wouldn't have. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's a 5 simply because like I think the story's there,
Mhm.
the acting's great, and
Mhm.
they did the most that they could, but for me, it's too artsy. Like I'm like I wasn't prepared for an artsy movie, even though I should have known. I should have known.
After all of the
After all of the hype and after all the things we watched before that, I was like, God, what is this movie gonna be about? And I purposefully didn't look it up, didn't like seek out, read up on it. I had no clue. I didn't know what this tiger thing was gonna be about.
mhm. I know.
Yeah,
I should have
I was
decided
disappointed.
you
I think, well, I wasn't disappointed in the movie. I think I was disappointed that I didn't like it as much as you love it.
Mm.
I was like, oh, that's sad 'cause
That
this is her favorite movie, and I just
would never watch it again. But that's okay.
would never.
That's the difference between our friendship and that we wanted to be good friends over a film.
Hey, I mean,
Well,
like,
credit
middle of the road,
I'll take it.
we're the same.
We're yeah.
We just have some outliers.
We have a little
And it turns out your favorite movie's an outlier.
yes, and also and we'll do this in the recap of how much I enjoy long, artsy isolation movies.
Yes.
Interesting.
She likes being by herself.
Oh,
She is an only child. So,
and an introvert. Yeah.
yeah. Potato, tomato.
See, I get nervous when people know I'm an only child because 'cause they're like, "She's gonna be entitled, and she's gonna have things she needs things
Oh.
her way," and there's, like, a stigma, but it's all true, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I was about to
It's
say.
all correct.
Truth.
Yeah, there is some of that, yeah. Not entitlement without work, but, like, I do expect things to go well with effort, for sure. If you are watching on a broadcast channel and wanna see what Cade picked, that'll be next, and, if you are doing podcast, we are on Apple and Spotify. We're also on social media.
Yes.
Mhm.
At Cade and Kit.
Bye.
Bye, guys.